And welcome into this week's edition of Hey Coach. I'm joined with Coach Harper Hudnall, our assistant men's basketball coach. Coach Kenny Williams is also going to join the show as we talk a little bit of
Here we go.
Archery.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. And then Cody Chu, the alum, 2001 graduate, I believe. Football, basketball, won the second overall championship with Seth Hedgeland. Is going to join the show today. Go take a flashback. Kind of look at his athletic career here. But Coach Hudnall, we are nearing the end of the conference season.
Yeah.
And it is here. So 26-2.
Yeah.
Undefeated in conference play. What is the biggest shocker right now? I mean, the score from the St. Joe JA game you kind of told the tale of that a little bit of how evenly matched they are. The thing that stands out to you as you finish up the regular season play?
I think the biggest thing is, we've gone back to 3 tournaments, including the overall, instead of just having state and then overall.
Yeah.
So you got South and you got North, and it's going to be interesting to see how things shake out next week in both of those, and how it'll line up in that state tournament week. It'll be different, much like it's been in football, just with the realignment this year. You'll have your different divisions the week of the state tournament, so it'll be interesting to see, what teams are in there and the draws they get as we head into hopefully punch a ticket for the big one on that last week of February.
Yeah, that's always the fun part when everybody looks at tournament time with NCAAs.
Yeah.
Tournament time for coaches in basketball season is ramping up. I want to go back and look at last week. We had Coach Adams and Coach Davis talked a little bit of football and strength conditioning, but the 67-52 win versus Jackson Prep on the 23rd, the game was in check. You had it. And then they kind of crept back in. I think Luckett got hot late. And you don't play again until tonight, on Thursday night.
Yeah.
So what's the – you haven't played in a week. You've had a game. You're supposed to play JA on Tuesday. You're supposed to play a game on Monday, I believe, against Park Place. That didn't happen. Got to move it to a Thursday because of the weather. How does it let you get back in the structure of a practice rather than game, or how does that help?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is, a lot of times during basketball season with as many games as we play, I mean, I think I looked at it earlier, we have, when we finished the regular season Friday, we would have played 30 games. And, there's some weeks where you're playing back-to-back, you get a break, and then you go back-to-back again. So, with with the weather kind of, mixing around the schedule this week, we did get back into practice, and it's kind of a breath of fresh air because you get to just focus on you and focus on what are some things we've seen in the past couple of weeks that we just haven't executed well, and how can we improve in those areas. We didn't really close the game out against Prep the way we would have liked on Friday. Like you said, they crept back in. We kind of relaxed in the second half. Allowed Cray Luckett, who's just a very gifted shooter. He's a really good player. You let him see the basket. He can get hot quickly.
The one that got me was the one from the short corner, quick dribble, picks up, and just drills it in. I was like, wow.
And so we relax, off ball on him and allow him to start getting going. And so, we were able to really look at that in practice these past couple of days of just like, hey, how can we close games out better?
Yeah, maybe it's help side defense, maybe it's offensive boards. It's looking back through the lens of like, how can we get better? I love that. A thing that I've stumbled upon, and I want to run this by you, is a lot of times with feelings and commitment, there's those two things that kind of weigh on an athlete and a coach. Like, hey, I want to do this when my feelings are okay. Well, it's like, hey, my feelings are whatever. But when you're committed, it's a different turn of events. And I think this year, looking at last year's team, there were some feelings involved, I guess, in your feelings. To now, this team looks committed. They're committed to a cause of, we're going to make the run, we're going to do what it takes. Have you seen that in this team?
Commitment level? I really have. One thing that I've noticed this year is our point guard, Evan Carr, is really taking a step forward. Not just with his performance on the court, and I mean, he has tremendously improved from last year to this year, and that's been a huge part of our success. But him and Will Bees are only 2 seniors this year. I feel like that they have done a really good job in practice, kind of, really stepping up in a leadership type role. A lot of times a kid will hear, hey, I need to be a leader, and that translates in their mind to, I just need to yell at my teammates more. And a lot of times what you see when that happens is they'll end up just putting their teammates down even more because they'll just get frustrated with them when they mess up, things like that. But these two guys, like, they love this team. They understand this is their last year of basketball at MRA, but they also understand that this is Coach Deweese's last year of basketball at MRA. And so they've really taken an approach of, like, encouraging the guys when things need to get in check. Because there's been some moments in the year that we've kind of relaxed in practice, and the team, we got a young group. And that young group sometimes, they have a tendency to relax. And those guys really, when need to, they get them back in check. And they push them, they push them hard, but at the same time they encourage them, they pick them up.
I also think it's good that you only have maybe 2 seniors. A lot of people like big teams that have seniors. I think the smallness of that kind of lets those 2 be big brothers, if you will, and like, hey, what are you thinking? And like tag team it or whatever. So I like it. As we're looking at your upcoming games, the 29th against Park Place, which will be here in Coach Deweese's last home game as the conference tournaments and the South State and the state and overall are not on campus this year. What do you think that's going to be like for him?
It'll be pretty emotional, I'm sure, knowing that that's the last time he'll coach a game in that gym. I was really, really glad we were able to take a moment Friday before the game against Prep to recognize him and his accomplishments. Just because that is that's a school that he's gone back and forth with for many, many years in many great battles. And so I was really glad that we were able to take a moment to recognize him and just what he's meant, not just to the game of basketball and our association, but to this school and just the many lives that he's had an impact on as they've come through here. I'm fortunate enough to be one of those.
You are.
I think Saturday he's going to want Thursday. He's going to want a lot of that just to be on the seniors. He's going to want the recognition on them. And it's senior night and their accomplishments to be.
That's how he is.
Exactly. He deserves a spotlight that he's gotten this year. I mean, he's earned it, and he wants 0 of it.
I saw Miss Kim put something out there like, he's already like what I'm going to do next. Like he's already not even thinking about retirement, but that's in the back of his mind as we progress forward through this basketball season. One thing, I don't know if Coach Force is going to be able to join us this week or not, but one thing I do want to mention is Presley Hughes is up for Athlete of the Week for Clarion Ledger MS Preps. So an email went out. Encourage everybody to vote for Presley. She is currently winning, has 52% of the vote. So that's really good there. I do want to ask you some questions, this or that, as we get into the end of basketball season. I want to do some fun stuff. We did stuff on the podcast, but I want to do some stuff with you here.
Okay.
And these are real simple. These are for you specifically. Circle your choice of this or that. You ready? Go to a game or watch the game at home. So Mississippi State plays tonight. Would you rather go to the game at the PMAC or watch it on TV?
I mean, if it's specifically Mississippi State, I'd rather be at the game.
Okay, there you go. I know this answer. Offense or defense?
Defense.
Always?
Always.
Man, I found we got to put this in this show. I'll send you the video, Alan, of the step back 3 that you hit. I got it. He's an offensive guy. Don't let him tease you on that. College game or NBA?
College. 7 days out of the week. College.
Oh, wow. All right, when you were growing up, did you like playing inside, like going to a gym? Or like, hey, let's go find a gym, or let's go find a concrete pad that has a goal with a chain net?
It was playing outside. And that was because growing up in Columbus, we didn't have access to a gym unless, my parents would take us to the Y, but a lot of times they were working. And so we actually grew up in a neighborhood where there was 4 or 5 houses of kids my age, all in that same cul-de-sac. And so, I mean, there were basketball games or football games or baseball games, whatever the season was, every single day. Wow. So it was always playing outside.
You brought back some memories. I lived in a neighborhood in Vicksburg where there was poison sumac, and we wore the Seattle Mariners hats. Yeah. So we were the sumac Mariners in Openwood.
Look, anyway. I got to shout out my brother too in this. So those houses, it was what was so great about it is the kids were all the same age. So as the older brother in my household, there was 2 other houses where the older brother was my age and their younger brothers were Hamp's age. And so we used to always play a game. It was 3-on-3, and it was the big kids versus the little kids to 21. And the little kids started with 20 points. So we had to come back.
Did you ever lose?
Never. But it was the only way we could get them outside to play with us. And, instead of, big brothers making it even and making it fair, in our minds, we were like, we'll put you on the same team and y'all get to start with 20.
All right. As we wrap this up, you've been both. You've been a player. Yeah. You've been a coach. Which one do you like better?
I feel like we've talked about this before. I was very blessed as a player here to play with some really, really great guys and to be a part of some great teams and really be a part of some really fun games. And I'm not just talking about, the state tournament games, overall games, but some of the games that we've played in the regular season, there's one game specifically where we played Oxford High. I mean, the gym was standing room only. It was incredible. Yeah. But to be honest, as great as, as much fun as I had to play as a player here, I think I would say coaching is my favorite.
That's awesome.
It's unique. It's different. And
you're a player's coach. Like
really
you understand. You're a player's coach. You can see it when you're in the gym. I kind of peek a little bit and watch practices of how it goes. But you're a player's coach, and that's what our kids need here, are guys that invest in them, not just for basketball or for archery or for football or for golf or tennis. You're impacting their lives. So I appreciate you and what you mean to this school. And that is Coach Harper Hudnall. As we were closing out this first segment of Hey Coach, stay tuned for Coach Kenny Williams as he talks a little bit of bow and arrows.
Aim small, miss small.
That's right. Archery, our 5-time state champion archery coach, Kenny Williams, joins the show next. This is Hey Coach.
Gumbo is a quintessential Louisiana dish, right? Our gumbo's just got tremendous flavor. It's about quality. If you skip any part of the process, you'll definitely get called out for it, and we just don't do that. Of course, we have salt and pepper shakers on every table, but rarely do we see someone pick them up. If you're gonna do a gumbo, you better do it the right way.
Your smile. It's how you share your truest feelings, your dreams, yourself with the world. And at the Winning Smile, your smile is our passion. That's why we offer in-house financing options, convenient appointment times, and personalized treatment plans to help keep you healthy and discover your confidence to unleash your best smile. Learn more at thewinningsmile.com.
From small-town courtrooms to the Mississippi Supreme Court, our attorneys have over 60 years' experience litigating cases all across Mississippi. The odds say you'll need an attorney at some point, and when you do, you can have the home field advantage with your hometown lawyers right around the corner from MRA. Gladden & Ingram, attorneys at law.
And welcome back into Hey Coach. Welcome to the show, Coach. It's Coach Williams. Your first time on the show?
I think second.
Did you join last year? I'm talking
last
this year.
This year's my first time.
There we go. First time on the show in 2026.
2025 was football season. 2026 is now.
Yeah. We're not going to talk about football.
It's over.
We're going to talk about the 5-time state championships of archery, bows and arrows. Robin Hood, get ready, if you will.
I'm so blessed to be around a bunch of great kids.
All right, so let me ask you, I walked through your practice last night, and you let out a stat to me.
Yeah.
You have 180 signed up.
180.
That's a lot of kids.
I had 180 come to the meetings. I had 2 separate meetings, so I just kind of rough estimate. I said, this is about, I started counting real quick.
Yeah.
I had 80 in one and 100 in the other.
Wow.
I was like, this is pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I think that's what's so cool about stuff that MRA offers in the world of the sports is there's a whole plethora of what you can do. I mean, archery, you have sporting clays, you have football, basketball, you have the traditional, but then there's something about that hey, kids want to go and shoot arrows.
Yeah.
So here's my thing. Coach Hudnall said aim small, miss small. Obviously, that is your battle cry, if you will, the hashtag aim small, miss small. But you've won 5 in a row. Mm-hmm. And I think that goes without saying, like, there's some intentionality of you coaching them. And I witnessed that last night. You were coaching one of your athletes on how to pull it back, how to aim, and it goes in. So a lot of people are like, oh, they just go and shoot arrows. No, there's some coaching that goes involved to make sure that they aim small, miss small.
There is. There's a lot more technique involved. Right. You know, when I first started shooting when I was a kid, I used to just grip it and, rip it and just let it see where it ended. But, as I've gotten older, I've learned a few things with technique, and it's kind of like I tell them, I said, look, if you're trying to pull everything to you and trying to find your center part of your body, and your center part of your body is your nose. Mm-hmm. You're trying to pull everything as close and stop leaning. Elbow's got to be a certain position. Your hands got to be a certain position. Yeah. If you don't want to get popped in your forearm, you got to have your elbow here and grip it just a certain way. And there's so many little bitty details, and it's all about your core strength too, be able to keep you balanced. Right. And a lot of kids think they can come in and just shoot it, and they're going to hit bullseye right off the bat. And they've quickly learned they got to listen to the instructions.
Be coachable.
Be coachable.
Yeah. All right, here's a question, and Alan might know this, like from shooting a camera, like a lot of times left eye, right eye dominant. Like, how do you figure out if you're left eye or right eye? Because, I mean, I don't shoot guns. I don't shoot arrows. I don't. But I think it has to have some kind of semblance to, do I put a camera on my left shoulder or my right shoulder? Do I shoot?
Yeah.
So how do you determine that?
Well, I'm right-handed and I'm left-eye dominant.
Same.
So I'm backwards. Backwards. And I had this discussion yesterday with a kid that kept telling me they're right-handed. And I said, I get you're right-handed, but you're left-eye dominant. And the quickest way I find out, I tell them to back up, point directly at my nose, and which one your finger goes under is the eye dominant you are.
Oh, wow.
So if you point at my nose, I can tell you which way where your finger goes, and I can tell you your eye dominance, like that.
A lot of times, I think it was like I'd put like a square or something, and if it moves or whatever way, that's what I was told.
I've done that too, and I've had to do that. I had to check a couple times with a couple kids because they were moving constantly. I said, slow down, breathe, and just relax. Points directly at my nose, and I'll be able to direct you. And it was pretty, they go, oh, so I'm left eye. So, no, it doesn't move. I said, exactly.
Do you keep, I know when you shoot a gun, you keep both eyes open, right? Are you supposed to keep both eyes open, or am I making that up? I might be making that up. I think I saw that on an episode of Cops, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And I've seen that. My brother, he was in the military. Both of my brothers were in the military, and they were talked about working on their sniper. In the sniper school, they talked about keeping both eyes open, but he goes, you predominantly move the gun, the scope to the predominant eye. I had to retrain myself for years because I was always using my right eye. Now I've gone to my left, and I'm way more accurate.
Aim big and miss big. I bet.
Sometimes I miss big, and I look at the wrong line, and I'm in a hurry trying to pull the trigger. But you're more accurate when you go to your predominant eye. Yeah. And it takes time to get used to it.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I figured that out really quick when I was probably 30, and I was shooting. They were like, you're missing like real bad. I was like, yeah. And I was shooting out of my right eye. I kept missing really bad. And they're like, just go to the other eye. Bing, bing. It's like 20% better.
20%?
Yeah, 20% better. Let's talk about your scheduling, because it's a real different classification. They're going to lump all of you into one big group. So the 4A is one big group.
20 of us.
Yeah. So there's Simpson. There's
Simpson. To me, the top schools in our archery group and the top 20 are all in one conference.
Simpson,
Park
MRA.
Place, and Park Place.
Oh, wow.
And you would think, that's Park Place, small school. They have some good shooters that
They
can
got
shoot.
some snipers.
They do. And I'm going to tell you, Leak is not in our division, but if they were still in our,
Yeah.
because they dropped down,
Right.
they would be ranked up there.
Right. So how are they going to do the championship this year? How's that going to happen?
They're going to have a day, and they're going to put all 4A divisions at one time, and you're going to go 1 through 20.
So you'll know pretty quick.
Throughout when that day's over with. If we shoot in the morning time, which I like shooting in the morning time, kids are fresh mentally, they're focused more.
Right.
But instead of the afternoon, kids are less focused.
Eliminate the distractions.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%, and you can shoot in the morning time and have better scores.
What about the big thing for me? I think of track meets and dual meets. Like cross country has dual meets sometimes. Track meets have dual meets. Do y'all typically just have you and another school, or you and 2 schools when you shoot during your schedule?
Well, space and time, we usually typically match up with another school. Now, there's sometimes, like this year, I'll have a top 24 match at Hartfield, and we'll have Hartfield, us, and Leak.
Okay.
And so we'll do two flights, and which is a flight is per round.
Right.
It's usually you can run a flight in 45 minutes to an hour, but that's the reason why you call it flight, because you're flying an arrow.
Right.
But usually we'll do 2. Now there's sometimes we do go to tournaments. We're not going to go to a tournament this year. Far off. We're going to try to stay very local.
Right.
So I mean, we got enough around here to fill a schedule.
What are the distance you shoot at?
10 meters and 15 meters. So I mark it off, and I have to get a calculator and look at the meters versus feet. So a meter, 10 meters is 32 feet.
That's right, 32.6.
32.
The only reason I know that is from track.
Yes, and a 15 is 49.23.
Yeah, there you go.
And,
I don't know that. We don't know 15 meters.
But I had to measure it out. I have your 50 foot meter measure, tape measure, and had to borrow that yesterday, and I had to mark the court.
Yeah. So that's where y'all practice at? Do you practice any further?
15, no.
No. Cool. What's perfect score?
300.
Have you ever had anybody shoot 300?
291?
Satch Kirk?
No. Hatcher Swanson.
Really? Wow. I know Satch is one of your big shooters. H.A. Thompson is one. Ellis Rich. But here's something I found really profound is you mentioned that girls are typically better shooters.
Yes, core strength.
Core strength.
Core strength, and girls actually a lot of times, that the girls that are very surprising that I get that are very good shooters are on the dance team and the cheerleaders, because they have core strength. You'd be surprised how many girls that are pole vaulters that are really good because at core,
Right.
they're able to balance.
Nice.
A lot of girls don't like being embarrassed so easy. If they go in there and shoot, so they really focus really hard and just try to stay competitive. Guys going in there and just have fun and just shoot. And
Yeah, I heard Ellis and H.A. last night when I was watching practice. They were just like talking to each other. They were like, boom, boom, hitting the bullseye.
And it's funny how the two different type personalities. Now you do have some girls that like to chat, and you have some guys that get very serious. But if they would just go in and relax and just shoot and have a good time,
Yeah.
it's all going to work out.
Kind of like axe throwing, I think.
Yeah.
Just have a good time.
Just have a good time. Just don't let it bounce back at you too fast.
Before I let you go, when you start looking at how many shooters you had, we prefaced 180 at the beginning of the show. How many can you take?
Ooh, I don't.
And how many can score?
Only how this works in archery is you take 12 shooters. Well, you can take as many as you want, but 12 will score. You'll pull 4 boys, 4 girls, then the next highest 4 shooters after them.
So you can bring all 180 and shoot.
Yes, you can.
Wow.
But I don't have 180 bows.
Can you borrow bows?
You can buy your own bow.
Buy your own bow.
You can borrow the school's bows, but that's about all we have. And it's also Jim's, time.
Right.
And if we have 180 kids, yes, there will be a lot of shooters.
How many will you typically bring? In years past, how many do you bring?
In the state tournament, I'm going to take 30.
That's it.
In the past, I've had 40 or 50.
Gotcha.
But I give them an ample amount of time to be able to be in the top 30 to 24.
Nice.
Because the others, I take scores from the other
There you go.
matches,
Top 24. I get what you're saying
and
there. Yeah.
I give them opportunity to show that they can be in that.
Cool. That's awesome. Anything else before I let you go?
No.
No? When's y'all's first match?
I'm looking forward to the season again.
Yeah. When's y'all's first match?
February the 12th. We are finalizing schedules this week.
Wow. That's 2 weeks out.
I'm going to throw the first match at them right off the bat and say, hey,
No time like the present.
hey, you
Coach
got
Williams.
to do it.
No time like the present. Can we expect 6? Can number 6 happen this year?
Hey, we're going to try.
Yeah, aim small, miss small.
Hey, look. That's right. That's right. You got to scale the unscalable.
Full of knowledge here. Full of knowledge. That's Coach Kenny Williams joining us for the show. Appreciate you joining
Thank
us
you.
today.
Appreciate
A little bit of archery. It's
There you go.
here.
It is.
Spring sports are about to be in full swing. Stay tuned as Cody Chu joins us for the show and talks a little bit about his past in football and in basketball. He was also, I told this to Harper, he was a member of the 2nd overall championship for boys basketball.
Really?
Yeah. We're going to get that and a lot more of his football journey as we come back to Hey Coach. This is Coach Kenny Williams. This is Hey Coach.
At Watkins Construction and Roofing, football is more than just a sport. It's teamwork meets community. And supporting our local teams is just another way we give back. So don't let a leak sneak through your defense. Call the professionals that know how to tackle a leak and protect your home field. Watkins Construction and Roofing. Trust, the beginning of what we build.
Ely's is a proud sponsor of MRA Patriot Athletics. Come try our USDA Prime New York Strip, bone-in filet, New England scallops, or sauteed Gulf crab claws. Ely's also offers an extensive wine list and bar selections. Ely's, upstairs on Jackson Street in Ridgeland. Good luck, Patriots. Boulware Vassar Orthodontics are specialists in creating beautiful smiles for kids and adults with 3 locations in the greater Jackson area. Our orthodontists are experienced, caring, and along with our friendly staff are waiting to align your bite, transform your smile, and boost your self-confidence with multiple treatment options including Invisalign and tooth-colored braces. With 3 offices in Lakeland, Ridgeland, and Clinton, contact Boulware Vassar Orthodontics today.
Dean Architecture, an award-winning architectural firm offering professional services of architecture, planning, and interior design. We are proud to be working with MRA on the new tennis complex and performing arts practice facility. We are excited about our current and completed projects, including the Gluckstadt Police Station, soon to be under construction Hines School of Nursing, Bridle Path, and the Baptist Medical Office Building for Jackson Eye Associates and Mississippi Retina. For leading-edge design and personalized services for your next building project, call Dean Architecture, your architect and proud supporters of MRA Athletics.
And welcome back to the show. I'm joined by Cody Chu, a 2001 graduate.
Correct.
Nice having you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to start doing this more often, having alums come in and kind of give the back history, because MRA didn't always used to look like this.
No.
I think what's really unique is I've talked to some people who knew you, Hunter Kramer, Seth Heslin, talked about you were a dog on the field. Like you were one of those guys that you wanted in the foxhole. And we're going to get into your knee surgeries and all that stuff of what happened and what could have been and all that stuff.
Sure.
But as you go back in the memory bank and you look at your time at MRA, what was it like? What are some of the memories that you're like, wow, that was awesome. I remember that. Those core memories that kind of come to me.
Yeah. Well, what's cool is, with having kids here now, from a teacher standpoint and faculty standpoint, a lot of them are still here, which is great. But then a lot of the ones that are new are people that were at school here with me from, like a 2 or 3 years older, 2 or 3 years younger. And I knew kids that were in kindergarten. I knew kids that were in first grade because it was such a smaller school.
Right.
I think we moved here in '94. I was in 6th grade, and my older sister was in 9th grade. And at that point, there were classroom trailers.
I've heard about that.
And
was the log cabin still down there?
Yep.
Kindergarten?
Yep. And the baseball field, the football field, everything was where it was, but there was no road going behind the baseball field. It was a chain link fence, and it was just a dirt path. You could drive it, but it was just, and the practice field was over there.
Wow.
But there was no, they had just built, or maybe our first year here, they built what was the softball field, which is where now the middle school building is.
Wow.
So that was a softball field. It was ample parking. So it's from a facility standpoint, I mean, it's night and day.
Yeah, what about the sports here? Because you play football, you play basketball. Did you run track?
Ran track.
Golf?
Nope.
Were you a four-sport? Three-sport?
Yeah,
You're a
four. Yeah, football, basketball, baseball, track.
There it is.
Yeah.
Which one was your favorite?
Football is definitely my favorite to play, and that's the one that I kind of geared up for the rest of the off season, playing everything else, but everything was back towards football.
Yeah. As you start, let's go in the gridiron. Let's go into football because
Okay.
I think, and we'll talk about stuff now, but I want to go back in the memory bank of those games on Old Canton Road before these stands and all that stuff. You played for Alan Kirk.
Played for Alan Kirk. Yep.
What was it like on a Friday night there, knowing that y'all look like Penn State? I know that.
Yeah, we did.
You look just like Penn State. White helmet, navy pinstripe, navy jerseys, and white pants. But what was it about football at MRA that was so special?
I played for Alan Kirk my sophomore year. Skip Moore my junior and senior year. But it was kind of that classic, small town where, when I moved here in sixth grade, you were at every game, right? You went to every pep rally. You knew those guys. I had an older sister, so I did know a lot of those guys, and they were good.
Right.
Her year was 98, and they went to the state championship, lost, I think to Pillow. Yeah. And so, I was in the thick of watching really good football as a 7th, 8th, 9th grader and wanting to be out there. And so, you did have some legacy here. They had some really good teams in the early 90s.
What about you?
Yep.
You were running back?
Running back and defensive back, yep.
So tell us about how are plays called then? Because right now we'll just call a one-word play, and it's telling people what to do all over the place.
Yeah.
What would be a sample play call? Do you remember those?
I write 42. I mean everything. I've had this discussion with a couple of guys here recently. We're watching MRA play. We're watching. College, they're throwing the ball down the field constantly. I mean, it was 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and maybe once or twice a game, play action and throw it deep. But probably only if you really need to score late in the game, you were getting desperate.
10 to 12 passes a game for y'all?
Yeah, I mean, probably so. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we had a couple years where we threw the ball a little bit more. Skip Moore, he threw it a little bit more. After I graduated, they started really incorporating that 4 wide and doing that stuff. But
full spread.
I never did it. So
running back position. Let's go into those games and mainly let's talk about how you got ready for games. I mean, we're from the same. I mean, I graduated in '99, so we're in that
right
that small town feel. Playing at Warren Central, like you're playing for the community. You're playing for your friends and your family and stuff like that. How'd you get ready for games?
Me personally, I was pretty loose. I didn't get too nervous. I wasn't too twisted up. But, back then we had the locker room was where it was now, but it was real dark. It was wide open with lockers around the edge, carpet. We'd come in there after school, lay around. They'd feed us a massive Hamels lunch at like 4 o'clock.
Wow.
Right before you go play football.
I go for Hamels right now.
Yeah. And then, for me, it was just about, I was just there. Like I don't sit still very well, so I struggled to you had guys putting headphones on, sitting in the locker, and I would attempt it, but that's just, I was up moving, talking.
If you had a pre-game playlist, if you will, what would be your top song on that playlist? Putting you on the spot here.
I don't even know. I don't even know. I'm trying to pull back from that time. I was never a real big music guy. so it was
Sorry.
it was background for me.
All right. What kind of face mask did you wear?
It had the 2-bar right here, and I think maybe
Was the other 2 bars up
Yep,
here?
yep,
like the
yep,
old
yep.
Emmett, I think Emmett
yeah,
Smith kind
we
of
got
made that
those.
famous.
We got those. We got 2 helmets, new helmets, our senior year that were like the new real light, and I got one of them, and it had that face mask, and all the other ones were those really old ones, super heavy.
Yeah. So we talked about your dog. Like only 2 helmets, his senior and 2 new ones, and you got one of them.
Yeah.
So what kind of player you were, man.
Yeah, well,
had to put
thanks.
you in the best equipment.
Thanks, yeah.
Had to keep you safe.
Yeah, thanks.
Keeping you safe. What? I'm gonna go into your injuries.
Sure.
Because I think a lot of times injuries tell stories of who we are as people, and the setbacks lead to successes. Do you? And I don't say do you. I know you remember the play. You remember exactly when it happened.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to take us through that story?
So the first one I did, my left knee in 9th grade. I don't really remember it very well. I remember that afterwards, had no clue what an ACL was at that point. But got injured. It was the last game of the season. Iced it. It was a away game. Came home. For the next couple of days, I wore long pants because it was really swollen. So I was trying to hide it.
Right.
Eventually, had to go to the doctor. Found out it was torn ACL. I don't remember much about the play, about the game of that one. The next year, in 2-a-days, we were practicing extra points, and I was doing that lean across, and Bo Weems tripped, fell on it, knee was planted, went all the way to the ground, did not re-tear it, tore my MCL. So I was out a couple of weeks. Same knee, tore my MCL, so the ACL held up great. But that was more painful than any of them.
Right.
And that was, I got up walking and my knee was jiggling left and right.
Oh my goodness.
But I only had to sit out a couple weeks for that. So I played that season. Junior year, second game of the season, I tore my right one. That one I can remember, that one's etched. The play I can, exactly.
Take us through it if you can.
Yeah, screen pass here at MRA against League Academy. It was touchdown. There was one guy, he was I cut inside, and it looks like a sniper just hit me. Fumbled, which was maybe one of my only fumbles in my entire career.
Wow.
But it was a touchdown. There was nobody else out there. But just planted and popped.
Did you kind of know when that happened, like when you?
Yeah. That one was pretty instantaneous. I immediately grabbed and crawled off the field. And then senior year, first game of the season, again here at MRA, that was a screen or an option. Second half against Manchester, and same thing, planted, fell. So all three of mine, none of them were contact. They were all just planting and cutting. That one though, I went to the doctor the next morning, Walter Shelton, he did all mine, and he played around with it and said, he's got an endpoint, and he's like, I think we're good. He's like, meniscus is torn. I can get you in tomorrow morning. You'll be out 2 or 3 weeks. I said, perfect.
You're like, yes.
Let's do it. I wake up from surgery. My parents tell me, it was torn. About 60, 70% of it.
Wow.
So I chose to wear a brace the rest of the year and played. I was probably, 85% after 2 or 3 weeks once I healed.
Right.
First couple of weeks I played receiver when I came back because I just couldn't really cut.
Right.
The last couple of games of the year I played running back. And did fine. But it just, I'd be running and just fall because it would go out on you.
Wow.
And had to wear a brace. But
how has that helped you seeing some of these other athletes? And I think going through that, you can kind of go to some of our athletes that struggle with torn ACLs or I remember Matthew Perkins when he hurdled a guy at East Rankin on a kickoff return and broke his ankle. What are some words of encouragement you would give going through that? Not just once, twice, 4 times. What are some words of encouragement for the athletes that are maybe going through that right now of this is what I experienced and hey, this is what I saw on the other side?
Yeah. Well, in the moment you're like, it's done. It's over.
Right.
I came back better every time. And I worked hard at it. It didn't just happen, but I had good support around me. I, worked hard to get back there.
Yeah.
So I hope the example that they can look and say, okay, well, this doesn't end my career. It doesn't keep me from being better. In fact, I can use it to, I did, I worked out a lot upper body when I was doing stuff. I did stuff like that, but then also I came back usually faster every time. And, it teaches you to kind of, when a hurdle pops in front of you the rest of your life, don't look at it as the obstacle. Look at it as what's the solution around it? How can I get better? Nice. And use it as a launching pad for you. In some capacity.
So you said you're a 4-sport athlete. Mm-hmm. Football, main driver.
Yep.
Baseball, track. What's next?
Basketball would have been next. I loved basketball. I love playing basketball. I played for Coach DeWeese.
What's it? I'm gonna pause you right there.
Okay.
What's it like seeing you just like Harper have been an alum, played for him. He announces his retirement. What do you think?
I mean,
wow.
Yeah, you're not going to believe it till you see it. It'll be weird to watch an MRA high school basketball team out there without him coaching.
What was it like playing for him?
I loved him. I mean, I still love Coach DeWeese. He was tough on you. He's a lot nicer to these kids now than he was. And he was, and the generations that came before me said the same thing.
Wow.
But he knew how to push you. I mean, and he wasn't a blanket. He didn't treat. He knew how to push that individual. And we played a different style of basketball than they play now. It was
man to man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We did lots of slide step drills, lots of 10 in a minutes. It was.
So Harper had mentioned that he took some of what when he started and started implementing. He said some of the kids were shell shocked.
Yeah. No. Sam plays for him right now, so I get to watch. and Harper's tough on him. And I love it. It's good. I mean, these kids need to know, you need to yell at them occasionally.
Yeah, they need to
good for them.
Experience discomfort.
Yeah.
Of like, wow, okay, how do I assess this situation?
Unfortunately for Harper, at those games, there's typically not a huge crowd, at an 8th grade basketball game. So he doesn't have a crowd dimming him out a little bit.
Yeah.
He needs to pipe in some crowd noise.
Well, let's talk about sophomore year, right? Y'all won overall?
We won overall, yep.
Tell me about that experience and just playing for DeWeese in general and just your experiences. You're coming off of knee surgeries and all that stuff, and you came back stronger even during basketball.
We were really good. I did not play a ton as a sophomore. I'd come in at the end of games, in the halves to press. Other than that, we sat down at the end and smashed cups on our head and stuff like that. But man, it was a lot of fun. We had a really good group of seniors: Seth Edgelin, Brian Cronin. I'm going to miss a few. Neil Berry was a year younger than him. He's coaching. He was at South Carolina. I don't know where he's at now.
I don't either. It was told to me, but
but it was a lot of fun. It was a good experience for me, watching how those guys prepared, how they went about their business. Yeah. And they set really good examples for us going forward.
Was there any moment in basketball that you're like, man, this is really cool that I'm playing for Coach DeWeese now? Kind of, he's iconic.
Yeah. So we used to go to an LSU team camp every summer.
Oh wow.
And we'd be the only MPSA team down there. Very few Mississippi teams there, but there was a lot of really, really good basketball teams from Louisiana, from other states.
Yeah.
But we'd get there, and John Brady, who was the coach at the time, him and Coach DeWeese were together. I think at Mississippi State, or something.
Yeah.
I
think it's Richard Williams, John Brady, and Coach DeWeese, Kermit Davis. They all used to work these camps together, is what I heard.
Right.
So they all knew each other.
And so him and Coach Brady were really close. And so Coach Brady would give us tours. We got to walk out onto football stadium, out through the thing. Got to go check out all the basketball facilities, all the football facilities.
It's really cool.
So it was really cool. Yeah. He garnered a lot of respect from everywhere we went. Every coach knew Coach DeWeese and respected what he did and what he has done.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of wins ago. He stacked them on since. So.
Yes. Baseball track.
Yep.
How that dynamic work? Was it like I go to baseball practice and then I get pulled for track?
Yeah. Well, no, I'd usually go to track and then hop over to baseball.
Oh, nice. What'd you run?
I was usually a part of the 4x2 and 4x1. And I high jumped as a younger before knee surgeries, and I couldn't really jump very high after that.
Yeah.
But we had a good 4x1 and 4x2 team pretty much every year. We didn't have much of a track team. We didn't do much distance, very few field events. the girls had a pretty decent
Right.
team, but boys at that time we didn't have a whole lot of, a lot smaller school.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I was running track because they needed us to run track.
That's right.
But yeah, we'd go run our 4-3-2-1 every day and then pop over to baseball.
Wow. That's a little different now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a little different.
What's it like, full circle moment here?
Mm-hmm.
You being an athlete here, you've seen what it was in the transition, and now yours are playing. And they're experiencing the same thing that you did. It's weird, though. It's a distance right?
It is cool because so far, Sam, what he's really good at is nothing that I did. So it's a lot of fun to hold it. I'd never been to a cross country meet until I went to his first, watched his first meet, and it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. I don't think I could have ever done it. I don't know that I understand why they do it, but he's good at it and he loves it. So the goal for every high school athlete was like, let's win a state championship. That was the apex. I mean, he's got 3 or 4 already, and he doesn't really grasp how amazing that is. I mean, I got one, and played for one more and lost. So it's like he's 8th grade and he's got 3 or 4 already, and he's contributed to those.
Yeah.
It's not like he's just mine. I got in basketball. I didn't contribute very much for it.
I mean, he was our highest finisher this year for cross.
Yeah.
Top 10, all MIS. What's it like, though? And I think this speaks to dads. Let's go into that because there are parents that listen to this. And what I want you to kind of gear is, how do you manage? You didn't run distance cross country. You alluded to it. I've never been to a cross country meet until. How do you navigate that as a dad?
Well,
I guess support would be the number one thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? But it's when he was young, it's like I pushed him to what I was good at and what I enjoyed, and he just never truly enjoyed it. And then at the same time, he was going through kindergarten, and he was the first kid ever, the whole time they did a running club, to run 2 miles in that 15 minutes. So he's doing that kind of stuff, and at that point, you're still not even grasping well, he's just naturally gifted at this.
Yeah.
He's really good. Once we saw him realize he was good at it, it was like, oh yeah, we're all in. Well, whatever you need, man, we'll help. Try to get you what you need, and try to help.
Alan can run 2 miles in 15 minutes. I think so. I think he can.
Yeah.
Big runner. I think that's cool though. When you start looking at that landscape of a lot of dads kind of funnel kids into, hey, football, basketball, and then God has this way of saying, I'm going to push them
100%
over here. So what's it like watching him run?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, I get more joy out of
All right, so I'm going to preface about it. I know you give him pep talks, and I think those are the coolest things ever. What's in those pep talks? Not the whole thing.
Right. It's just, trying to get him to understand, I know what he's capable of.
Right.
I know he's not fully tapping that in, not because he doesn't want to, he just doesn't know how to yet. He doesn't know how to, my mantra with him is empty the tank.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely cross that finish line and not be able to stand up.
Yeah.
It's only, as fast as you are, you're not doing it but for, 15 to 17 minutes, right? So it's like, you can do this for that period of time, I promise you.
Yeah.
And so it's trying to get self-confidence, self-belief, knowing that he's capable, he belongs out there, and he belongs up at the front.
Yeah.
And to believe that, push yourself to that, and just literally leave it all out there.
For those dads or those moms, because your wife's ultra competitive, when they miss the mark, what are some of the dad lessons that you give him that would help our dad maybe going through somebody they missed the mark on maybe a high jump, or they miss a 3-point basket, or they don't get quite to the end zone, and it's not the end of the world.
No.
But how do you navigate that?
I guess it depends, right? Is it because you just didn't? As long as the effort's there,
right, and
the preparation was there, then it's a pat on the back. It's did you do your best?
Right.
Then I'm proud of you. Now, when there's some time in between it, then it's time to come back and say, hey, here's what I saw, maybe that you could do better next time. You know, I've tried really hard, I unsuccessfully a lot, to not immediately give that critique or advice right afterwards.
Yeah.
Let them step away from it. Let no emotion be attached to it, for me and for them. And you know, it's harder for me with cross country and track. But you know, my younger one, and Sam plays basketball. My younger one plays football, flag football, baseball, all that stuff. You know, a lot more that's critiquable afterwards. And so it's.
Do you find one wants more critique than the other?
Oh yeah. No, Sam doesn't want it. Sam, he will take it and he'll say yes sir, and he will absolutely try. Charlie, he wants to make sure we saw, wants to make sure we watched, wants to know what we thought about it. Right now, you know, we'll see as he gets older. He still wants that.
That's awesome. As we wrap up our time, and I'm looking at the landscape of what's about to happen out here.
Yep.
In graduating in 01, would you have ever thought this would be on Old Kent Road?
Absolutely not. No, I mean, you know, the baseball field, the turf, or whatever's out there right now, you know, before that, so the brick that's there now, the stands and that, so that was built my junior year, I think.
Wow.
And at that time, maybe even going into my senior year, I remember being up here on a Saturday, all the players, or a lot of the players, all the dads, building the drainage system on the field. You know, like laying the pipe and stuff like that. And, you know, probably stayed there for quite a long time. That was, Trey Pace was our coach at the time.
Wow.
He had come over from Jay my senior year. And, you know, and the dads and sons were out there doing it. We didn't do the bricks. We just did the drainage on the field. But no, I would have never imagined that the campus is what it is now. It's amazing.
Very progressive, very forward thinking. The weight room that's going to be underneath there. Last thing before we go. You're a big Friday night football guy.
Yep.
Because you played Friday night.
Right.
What's it like watching a game in the end zone, tailgate action, knowing like I contributed? Because a lot of people are like, oh, you helped build the foundation. Well, you really did. Like you kind of set the foundation of, hey, in 2000, 99, 01, like we started the trajectory of what MRA football is now. What's it like watching it and seeing it unfold and how successful they are now?
Yeah, it's Bo Weems, I graduated with him. JJ Jernigan, graduated with him. They are here with me a lot of times. Kids are all similar in ages and stuff here. And we've had this conversation. And of course, it blows our minds, you know, the lights. I mean, you know, we make the joke every year about you had to flip them on in time for them to warm up, that kind of stuff.
Right.
My younger sister, when they put the new lights up, not these, she actually got to flip the lights for the first time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And her and John Harvey were voted like Clarion Ledger's top fans. They got like runner-up. A trio from Provine, I think. Some older gentleman that hadn't missed a game in like 20 years.
Oh, wow.
But so after that, she got to flip the lights. But so it was pretty cool. But that, you know, the turf, you know, I did get to use that locker room. Not that full one. It was the first that was built when I was.
Yeah, the red metal lockers in there.
Yep. But the weight room. When that weight room was built.
Yeah, right in there.
I got to use that for a couple of years. It's expanded since then.
Yeah.
But you know, we didn't have, you know, we weren't getting ice baths or, you know, it was, you get a.
No 3-minute ice baths after practice.
No, Dave Webb was going and finding you a bag to, you know, an old bag to throw some ice in so you could ice your knee or something.
Wow.
So it's come a long ways. It's really cool.
Wow.
There are some things that I regret these kids didn't get to do. You know, we had the tunnel. It was so cool. Had the hill around it, and we had this little weight room that was, you know, a dungeon, but it was pretty unique and pretty cool. So,
I think some of the old school nostalgia that kids miss out on when you see it on, like when you watch Hoosiers, or if you go look at Piney Woods Gym, if you've seen that, how Piney Woods Gym is set up. Alan, if you've not been down there, you need to go check that out. Like it's literally the stands are like an auditorium, and it's underneath, and the court's on top, and it's really cool. If you're into that, look up Google Piney Woods Gymnasium. It's really neat.
It is neat.
It's one of those nostalgic things. But I think kids miss out. They all see the fresh, the new, the shiny objects and all that. Going back to my roots, even in '99 at Warren Central, those old school things still hold true, and they help build us as men and our character and stuff like that. So before I get to this or that, what are you doing now?
I write construction bonds
Nice.
for a company here locally. I travel a good bit across the country, but I've been doing it since I
No
graduated.
running cross country, just traveling.
Just traveling cross country. I do it by plane, not on my feet.
No Forrest Gump here. No Forrest
thank you.
Gump. All right, we're getting into this or that, and then we'll conclude. This or that is these fun things that I ask this or that.
Okay.
Are you a breakfast or a dinner guy?
Dinner.
Oh, no breakfast. Not a
I mean,
breakfast
I
guy.
like breakfast, but I prefer dinner.
Which favorite dinner?
I mean, it's hard to beat chicken wings or pizza, you know?
I like. I'm down with it. Would you rather owe money or owe a favor?
Oh, let me owe you a favor.
There you go. Pay rent or pay mortgage?
Mortgage.
Yeah. In college, did you want roommates or did you want to live alone?
I never lived alone.
Would you have lived alone though?
Yeah,
Would you have
absolutely.
lived-
I could have. Absolutely could have. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. You said pizza. You like pizza. Would you rather have a cold shower or cold pizza? Like a cold
Oh,
dinner?
cold shower. Give me a cold shower any day. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Poor and famous or rich and unknown?
Poor and famous, rich and unknown.
Yeah. Same. Kind of be hidden. All right, you a big movie guy or a book guy?
Movie.
Which favorite movie?
Ooh, Gladiator maybe?
Oh. Favorite movie? You have one? You have a favorite movie, Alan? We'll get it after the show. A comedy or a horror movie?
Comedy.
Would you rather be going on these trips when you were driving to all these cross-country meets in Huntsville and
Right.
Birmingham and all that? Would you rather be passenger or the driver?
Driver.
Forest or beach? Would you rather go to
Forest.
the mountains?
Mountains.
Really?
All
Over
day,
the
every day.
beach?
Yeah.
I have a feeling Alan would say he's not a beach guy. Not a beach guy either.
We're a split family though. We got, yeah, the wife likes the beach.
You'd rather go to Gatlinburg in the mountains.
Absolutely. Let's go big. Let's go west. Big
My
mountains.
wife's heading out to Montana
Nice.
in April.
Nice.
I can't go. Got state track meet. So that answers summer or winter?
I do like winter. I really do.
Meat or vegetables? Would you like a steak or do you want a side of vegetables?
Well, I mean, I'd rather have the steak, but,
Right.
but I do like the side of vegetables.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, if I had to choose one, I'm gonna eat the steak.
All right, last two things. Do you like sitting down or standing up if you're, say, at a function? Do you
Standing
like
up.
down? Standing up. And then early morning, are you an early riser or do you like staying up late at night?
Early riser.
Okay. Here's one we ask just about everybody on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a toss-up. There's only one person that's picked the one I'm going to give you the option of. And then Sam Haley has picked this one. But it is Raising Cane's or Zaxby's.
Raising Cane's.
Staying true with it. Sam, you're still the only one. Sam Haley is the only one that has picked Zaxby's.
So, Coach Haley missed somewhere in his upbringing.
He did.
Yeah.
He definitely did.
Yeah.
Raising Cane's is tried and true. Like
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a staple. When Trace Walters was here, we would go after track meets.
Yep.
And kind of reassess what we're doing, and
Yep.
we go to Raising Cane's every
Yeah,
time.
you can't
every
go
time.
wrong with it.
Coach Lassard came in this year, Traces in Birmingham.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Are we still doing the tradition of?" I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." Here's the sad part for Trace: there's not a Raising Cane's in Birmingham.
What?
Exactly. It's so funny.
Alabama must be trying to keep the LSU out.
I guess I don't know.
Yeah, that's. I hate
don't
that for
know.
Trace. I guess Trace needs to come back then, so we can have Raising Cane's.
I've told him that many times. Come back for the Canes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, all right. Before I let you go, anything else you want to add?
No, I loved being a student at MRA. I'm so happy my kids are here. It's a lot of fun to come and watch them experience some of the stuff I did. But you know, this place is amazing. It's come a long ways since I was here. It was a good school when I was here.
Yeah.
This place is pretty special.
Yeah, you can tell as we were talking about your stuff in sports, even in your injury. You could see it in your face, just how.
Yeah, you almost
passionate
get
about this
emotional about some
Yeah.
of it because I mean these people, you know, there is a family atmosphere here, and there always has been, and that's what's kept it different than the other places.
Yeah, and I will echo that. Like there's a tight knit. There's a tight knit here. Like you can still see like you're reflecting back.
Yeah.
Those that are listening on the podcast, you can see this on the show. Just the emotional part of like, man, this place holds a deep place in my heart, and it's the reason why your kids are here now.
Well, and all these teachers that were students here, they didn't come back here just for a paycheck. They came back here because they loved being here. You know, that's pretty cool.
Awesome. All right, well, that'll do it for this week's edition of Hey Coach. For Harper Hudnall and for Kenny Williams, this is Cody Chu. We will be back next week as we start looking at wrapping up basketball season. We'll have another alum join us for the show and see where that road takes us. But thank you so much for joining us today.
No, thanks for having me. That was fun.
And see you next week on Hey Coach.